What's up, everyone? This is Big Poner. Today I'm going to do a help video for building the Lacer-assasin. Basically, from beginning to end, I'm going to give you the suggestions for the twinking gear, which is basically like overpowered gear you use on characters to make them level up faster, get through the axe faster. I'm going to give you some tips on how to actually do this faster. Pretty basic stuff, but really helpful. If you're not good at doing it, it should easily cut your time in half. I'm also going to go over the tree. In the links, I'm going to include a level 53 tree, and I'm also going to include a level 95 tree. I'm going to go over the reasons for everything. I'm going to try to make this video as fast as possible, but I have a ton of information to include in this. So I'm going to jump right into it. We're going to start off with gear. Obviously, tabula rasa, I shouldn't have to explain this, but this is absolutely a must. The only time that you don't want to start with the tabula is literally if it's your first character and you can't get a tabula, which is literally like beginning of season. Like, yeah, same thing with Wanderlust Boots. Always start with these at level 1. Um, Level 1 helm not required, but like best in slot. The boost to all resistances, it's something that you can wear from the beginning. The goal is to put on stuff that's going to make it so that you can just run as far into the axe without having to stop as possible. The belts, level 8, you're going to be able to equip one of these. These are both good options. I normally am going to suggest this on a path that is mostly going to be opening up dexterity, which our path is going to be mostly dexterity. Luckily, we do pick up some intelligence here. We pick up some intelligence here. We pick up some intelligence here. We get 40 intelligence right off the bat, which takes care of a lot of that. That's the reason why I'm also going to throw this out there. The reason why is because this is a massive damage boost. It also gives us a big HP boost, 10% increased HP. It also gives us up to 60 strength, which can take care of that strength for a really long time. Also, 60 strength is another 30 HP. So this is a really big boost, something you could wear for a really long time. 5 to 15 physical damage is really big. To give you an idea, that's more than the implicit modifier on a level 80 mark of the Elder Ring. So this is a really good option for you until you get later into it. If you need a damage boost around level 25, this is a good option. The reason why is because it's 3 number to number elemental damage. It also gives you global physical damage up to 24%. Obviously, you can blessed orb that up to 25, which blessed orbs are basically like so cheap that they're not even always worth picking up. I think I bought like 1,000 of them for like 50 chaos or something like that. I don't even remember because I bought them so long ago. I was like, ah, why not? They're so cheap. I'll never worry about them for the rest of the league. Um, Immortal Flesh, I'm only including this in there because there are a lot of concerns. Like, people are looking at, like, oh, the HP is so low. Like, how am I going to survive? I promise you, once you start playing this build, if you follow my tree, you follow my suggestions, like, survivability is really not going to be an issue for you. Um, the build gains so much damage reduction. The build gains so much evasion, dodging, spell dodge. Like, it effectually is a super tanky build. Um, Anyways, that's done. Flasks that you're going to want to pick up before you start leveling, you're going to want to get Sin's Rebirth Flask because you can equip it at level 14. Grants you Unholy Might, which is 30% of your physical damage turned into extra chaos damage. So huge damage boost. Creates a smoke cloud. Also gives you a 100% increase to your evasion rating. That is really big. The other thing is it provides the utility of removing Ignite or Burn. Immunity to Ignite removes it. So that's really important. The Lion's Roar is really important to pick up early also. The reason why is it gives us 3,000 armor. That is a massive damage reduction boost, especially for a level 27 character. Um, and you can pick these up cheap, like under 10 chaos. I'm sure it also gives you more melee damage, um, which is like the only thing that rolls on it. So try to get a good one if you can afford it. But I mean, it's only a 5% difference. So if you can only afford a 20% one, you can probably get it for like 1 chaos or like 2 chaos or something like that. Um, I don't have a big following, so there's not going to be some giant influx where they become really really expensive. So get one of these before you start. Get this before you start. This one's, I believe, a little bit more expensive, but it's something you're going to be using from level 14 all the way through endgame. So it's definitely worth investing in. If you absolutely can't afford it, then I understand that, but it's going to be really helpful for you if you can. Um, Absolutely essential thing for you to get if you want to be efficient in getting through the axe is the praxis. You can equip it at level 22. You can equip your leap slam at level 8. The thing is this will basically make your movement and your attacking and stuff like that like free. So obviously, if you can just leap slam infinitely, you're going to be able to fly through the axe. Which Here's a big tip. When you're going through axe, you don't want to be trying to kill everything. You literally just want to be killing the stuff that you have to kill if you want to efficiently go through the axe. I understand if you don't care that much, like you want to do it kind of efficiently, you still want to like kill stuff, like do that. But if you're trying to get through the axe and power level a character as fast as possible so that you can have a level 85, 90 character in one gaming session, then you can't be doing that. You have to stay focused. The other thing that I'm going to say now is if you're not good, if you don't have memorized the path that you need to take, the thing that you need to do is you need to use a guide. I'm not going to do a guide on, I'm not going to do a video guide on this, and I'm not even going to create a written one. The reason why is because there's one that works perfectly fine on the PoE website. It is just on pathofexile.com. You can type in fast leveling guide 3.7 viable. It doesn't matter if it's 3.7, we're not in 3.7 anymore. It's all the exact same stuff. It's literally just a list of the quests you have to complete, and then it lists what quests are optional and what they give you. The only things you want to complete are quests that you have to complete, and then quests that give you skill points. You want the skill points, otherwise you're going to have to go back and pick them up later, which if you're just trying to get through the axe as fast as possible, you could even skip the skill points. That's how people, get through Act 10 in like 4 or 5 hours, is they literally just skip everything and they just run through the axe. But it will take you a little bit longer if you pick up all the extra skill points, but then you're not going to have to go back and get them. It also makes the leveling process easier. I kind of like to get all the essential stuff when I run through. Just using a guide like that, if you stay focused, if you're not wasting a bunch of time, you absolute max, even if you're bad at it, even if you get lost a couple times, 10 hours, you should be all the way through. 10 hours of gameplay, you should be all the way through all of the stuff. You just got to stay focused. Starting rings, deodors you can throw in there just for mana. Black, if you're concerned about it, or that if you're having issues, Blackheart's a good one to start with because it gives you base life, life regeneration, some damage. Comb's Heart's always a good one. The reason why is because it gives you life, and it also gives you life on hit. It also gives you strength, which is more life, up to 20, which is another 10 HP. So essentially, you can have up to 40 HP from a comb sign. All right, swords. Starting swords. Honestly, there's not a lot of good one-handed swords that are like something that I'm like you should go buy these because they're gonna help you level up through the whole thing. It's really not. You're better off picking up um, picking up swords. When rare swords drop, they don't have to be foils. They don't have to be one-handed thrusting weapons, which is what the foils are classified as. If you get to the point where you don't have enough damage and you need a weapon, just go to the PoE trade site and pick up a cheap weapon for your level. Don't spend a lot on it. Just get something that's going to work because you're going to level up so quickly. You're going to be, throwing out that weapon as soon as something else drops on the ground. That being said, you don't want to be identifying every single item that drops on the ground. The only things you want to be identifying are things that you're looking to upgrade. So, like, if I need weapon upgrades because I'm not planning on having a bunch of gold swords lined up for me, there are a couple decent ones. You can go with this one. This one's pretty good. Gives you all resistances, life on hit. This is one that I would say would be worth picking up. It's got the crit multiplier. Good base attack per second. This is pretty good. Other than these two, I would just look for stuff to pick up until I get to those higher levels and I can start using a real weapon. Jeweled foil is what you're going to want to go for. You can look for the items. I'm going to do a whole guide on this, how to craft them or what to look for. I'm not going to include this in this video, otherwise that's going to add like another 10 minutes to this video. Um, from there, roomies, if you're looking to be more tanky, this is something you're going to pick up, but this is not going to be until 68. Same thing with Adzeres, it's not till 68. These aren't things you have to start with. Eventually you're going to want them, but you don't need to start with them. The Diamond Flask, rolled the way that you're going to want it, is like this. But you can't use it till 48, so it's not essential to start with. You can you can get through Act 10 as like if you're really good at it, like in the 50s. I normally complete them like 64 or below, with all skill points gained. Um, Other thing, movement speed, I think I said Quicksilver Flasks. You're going to want at least one of them to be gray so that you can start using it at level 4. If you can get two that are gray, then you can run them both at the same time. The thing is we're going to have two flasks that we're going to be running for sure. You're going to be swapping out health flasks, so you're going to need that. Initially, you're going to be using probably mana flask, HP flask, and two Quicksilver flasks. Then you're going to be rotating in your Sin's Rebirth, and then you're going to be rotating in the Lion's Roar. So definitely good to have the two Quicksilvers to start with. So at level 4 you can start running. You don't have to get two because you are going to eventually have 5 flasks, mana HP, or relatively early mana HP, Sin's Rebirth, and Lion's Roar. So don't have to have two, but if you're only going to have one, start with the gray one, and then obviously put some stuff on it once you get there. You're going to have removes fire on you, removes burning on Sin's Rebirth. So you're going to want, I always like removes freezing on my Quicksilver flask because like I'm always running the movement speed. I'm not going to get frozen. I like removes bleed on my life flask because if you start taking damage, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to press your health flask. So if you start bleeding, you're going to be pressing to heal anyways. It just makes sense. Removes bleeding on the health flask is like one of the most one of the things that makes the most sense. It's like that's just the way that I do it. I mean, if you really don't want to set it up that way, I don't know why you wouldn't, but that's your thing. If it works better for you another way, then do it another way. These are just what I find works best. All right, so now we're gonna do the tree. We've covered everything else. So what I am going to say before I run over this real quick is I'm going to be including the 53 tree. I'm not going to respec my whole tree and chop off all this stuff and have to redo it all, but I will show you the path and I will explain to you what differs from what you're seeing. And then obviously you're going to be able to click on the level 53 one, and you can follow that till you fill it out, and then you can open up the endgame 95 one. If you get past the 95, you can go to the original video and you can see my level 100 tree. So we are going to follow all this. None of this is going to change. This provides you everything that you need. You're going to need, first of all, this is the best damage path. This gives us nothing. This is just worse damage. And then we'd have to come down here. It doesn't make sense at all. This is the only path to take. This gives us intelligence. We immediately get some life. We pick up 20% life here, life on kill. This is going to start giving us our critical chance, critical multiplier. We're going to get mana regeneration, more intelligence here, which is going to help us equip our gear. Then we're going to be moving down through here. This is going to give us some area of effect, which will help with clearing, and obviously damage, and more area of effect is going to help with clearing. The only thing that you can skip here is you can skip this jewel slot. If you don't have good jewels yet, or you can't equip them, then this is not required. This is something that you can fill in like way late game when you start getting like really dope jewels. Um, when you actually need them, there's going to be other jewel slots you're going to want to fill in earlier because you can get better bonuses from them. Then you're going to come down through here. This is more HP. When you hit here, you are going to want to fill out these 5 points immediately. The reason why is because these 5 points you're going to have filled in for the whole game as soon as you can, following this path, unless you equip a perfect form. That's the only reason you're going to remove these 5 stats. If you remove these 5 points, this build really does not work unless you have the perfect form on. So you want to fill out this. Immediately after that, if you have an intuitive leap or if you can afford one, this is something I would pick up because this is not that many points in. This is like something you're going to be able to get like 20 level 20, 30 pretty early. And this is going to give you a massive boost to everything that you need. You're going to gain 10% increased max life. You're going to gain increased flask effects. Here you're going to get attack speed, accuracy. Obviously, you need to be able to hit stuff to do damage. Obviously, attack speed is going to help you. You're going to get critical strike multiplier here. Of course, we're stacking multiplier. This gives you evasion. All resistances, more evade, which with the 3% evade here, with our 40% here, we have 43% evade. We have 30% spell dodge. This is pre-ascendancy. You're going to then come down here. You're going to skip these 4 points here. This is a late game thing. You may not even end up filling out those 4 points, and if you do, it won't be till very late. But you are going to fill out all of this. All of this is very important because we need all of this critical strike chance and multiplier. Then you're going to come down here. You're going to fill out all this. This is all really important. We get massive damage increase from this. We do pick up some penetration, but it just gives us, 40% elemental damage, and then we also get our 10% chance to free shock and ignite, which gives us a lot of damage because when you shock something, you get a minimum of 20% increased damage, and then on top of that, you have a 10% chance to freeze, which is more crowd control, which is basically like survivability through a non-defensive based skilling. And then you're going to come up here, you're going to fill this out. This is what gives us our conversion of cold damage from our physical. This is absolutely important. You can't skip this. Then we are going to make the long trek down here, and you're going to come up through here. You're going to come up through here, then you're going to go this way, around here, and across here. So you're going to do that. After you've completed that, you're going to come to here, you're going to fill out these, and you're going to get this. Lethal Pride is definitely something that you're going to want to get if you can afford it. It's about an Exalt, and then once you get it, you're probably going to have to divine it to get a really good one. The things you're going to want to look for on this, you're going to want Intimidates, you're going to want chance for double damage, critical strike chance, critical strike multiplier, any of that stuff. Any of that stuff is good. Reduces extra damage taken from critical strikes is also really good. Those are going to be the things that you want to get. The thing is this is going to provide a nice boost of HP, a lot of strength, which is important. The reason why is because we are going to eventually be using Fractal Thoughts, and we also get 1 HP from each one of these. We need our strength to be over our intelligence. We need our dexterity to be over our strength. It's just really a best in slot item. And using the level 53 tree, using the non-level 100 tree, even using a 95 tree, it's going to give you the best bonus here because you're going to pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 small nodes, which each one of these small nodes are going to give you 2 or 4 strength. And then you're also going to be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notable passives that are going to give you bonuses like regen, intimidation, stuff like that, which are really big boosts. For the jewel slot, there's absolutely nothing that will give you more than that. So that is your level 53 tree. I'm going to go and cut it off now. I will include the level 53 tree and I will include the level 95 tree just to give you an idea if you're actually worried about what this is going to give you. The level 53 tree, which if you get all of your skill points at level 53, you will be able to fill this in. You will have 124% increased evasion. And where's the HP? 83% increase to your HP from the tree. So very respectable, and like I said, you're going to have a 30% chance to dodge, and you're going to have a 43 spells and 43% chance to dodge attack hits. So that's really big. One thing I almost forgot. Moving into your ascendancies, you are going to want to move into your ascendancies. If you're having issues with survivability, obviously you're going to want to head into your defensive nodes first. Um, to here, this is going to give you your ghost shrouds, more evasion, and then coming down into here, this is really going to be a really big setup for you, especially once you have your fractal thoughts and you have an evasion chest. This isn't going to do much for you if you don't have an evasion chest or you don't have the fractal thoughts helm. The reason why is because the main thing that we get from this, we get our 5 evasion from each energy shield, which is a big boost. We're also getting 6% attack speed and cast speed for each Ghost Shroud, which we get 3, it's 18%. That's really nice when you combine the things together, but I would definitely probably get this one first, just because it gives us our Ghost Shroud, and you get reduced damage taken from the Ghost Shrouds, which is another 6%. But um, if you need damage, you're probably going to want to come over here, because this is our biggest damage boost. If if you're getting rid of the Praxis Ring, this is a really good spot to go because this gives us a lot of damage, free movement speed, and more damage reduction. So, and then also the mana recovery. So I would probably say your first two are most likely to make it easiest for you is going to be these two first, then this one, then probably this one for damage, and then go here. If you're having trouble surviving though, and you're already at a point where you have your fractal thoughts, you have your evasion chest, you might want to take this before the damage. Um, that's if you're kind of like trying to go for tankier to make your last set of ascendancy easier. But once you get to the higher levels, it really shouldn't be an issue due to the stacked damage reduction and all that stuff. Um, Anyways, guys, I hope that this was helpful for you. If you have any other questions, leave some comments. Peace.